up guys, how's it going? So today I want to make a tier list for Halloween franchise characters. So let's get into this. So let's have a look. Who we're gonna start with? I guess we could start with Laurie Strode's best friend. Not really much of a character. You just see her sleeping with someone and she just gets killed. So B. Then you got this guy, the one who's like fascinated with Michael Myers and wants to do like a story on him. He does have intrigue and stuff, so maybe I could put him like in top of B, and he has like a partner too, which I'll just probably put her in the same place, but a little bit below him, though she survives just a tiny bit longer than him. And you got Laurie Strode's granddaughter's boyfriend. He's not really much of a character. They tried to do more of him in Halloween Kills, which I hate that film, but for now I'll just put him in C. I don't really have much of a thought of him. But I tried to do a little bit more of him in Kills, but again, I don't like that film. And I think he's a decent cop, so maybe I'd put him top of B. I think he's like in the 2018 film, yeah. Though I think he's someone who ends up becoming close with Laurie Strode, and I actually thought he died or something in 2018, but yeah, he's actually still alive up to ends, I think, yeah. He ends up having a relationship with her, and then Busta Rhymes' character instantly D.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
When it comes to like literally comedy gold level, he's definitely S, like Trick or Treat and all that. It's just so many, and literally insulting Michael Myers, and Michael Myers doesn't even kill him. It's comedy gold, but as an actual character and impacting the franchise, D, because he's literally to me the worst Halloween film, and the way how he just makes Michael Myers feel like a joke, like yeah. And then you got one of the boys from H2O, played by a great actor, but you know, just a kid back then. Not really much to him, but the way how basically you get to actually see Michael Myers actually, well, they don't show it, but basically imply that he basically killed the kid. Yeah, it's one of the darker deaths. It's definitely a memorable opening. And then you got Dr. Loomis himself, the legend, instantly S.
I wouldn't do that. This isn't a man. The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. What was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
It's probably my favourite character in the franchise when it comes to the humans, because, I mean, there are some villains, but Michael Myers obviously is the main threat, since mostly fans just want to see Michael Myers, and why we never really got more different kind of stories after Halloween 3. Because that's what it was trying to do at first, but yeah. And then there's the reboot Loomis from Rob Zombie, like, oh, he's a terrible character, like, I don't even know where to put him on top of D. At least he tries to have a character, but he's like just an awful version of Dr. Loomis. It's just like someone that you respect so much in the original films, and then like in this he's just like a business guy, like he's just so unlikable, yeah. And I hate that I think he does he survive? I can't remember. I've barely rewatched the Rob Zombie films. And then there's the girl who from, like, basically I think she cheats on Rachel's boyfriend from Halloween 4. I think this is her, I'm not sure, so I'll just put her back here for now until I actually remember. But I remember this girl from Halloween 3, which the flipping overage main character has a relationship with, but it seems like she dies and turns into like an android or something. Yeah. Where would I put her? She's not really much of a character, but with how she's used in the story, probably could put her here. Yeah, how she's used in Halloween 3 is pretty a good reveal, with how he had a love interest with this woman, and then she ended up turning into like literally the threat at the end. It was pretty cool stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna pick next, I guess, the original. Well, not the original, but like the reboot Kid Michael Myers, where they made him more of like a redneck trailer trash, I guess, instead of him being from the suburbs and then just decides to kill his sister. It's basically kind of the same result. I mean, I don't know how to put him. On top of, maybe not on top of B. I'll just put him here for now. There's not really much to him. Obviously, he doesn't really talk that much, and he just hates his family and dreams to kill them all someday, and you know, becomes Michael Myers. And I just kind of find that Michael Myers a bit more like Jason than actual Michael Myers, to the point where he literally starts talking, saying "die." It's just, I hate that ever. Even though there are some good things about it, probably just the same place, really. Yeah, since that's the Rob Zombie era. And Rachel, I love Rachel. She's a great character.
I'm sorry. Out with Brady tomorrow night. It's no big deal. Well, tonight we're going to do something better. We're going to go trick-or-treat. It's Halloween. I mean, don't you want to get... Afternoon, I pick you up from school and we go get ice cream. Double scoops.
Why'd I put her in S? I mean, literally protecting her sister, Jamie. And just Jamie. When I see Jamie, she's obviously going to be in S as well. Like, man, because Halloween 4 is my favourite Halloween. With how they met these two sisters so close, with getting chased by Michael Myers and stuff, because it seems like we actually didn't really care much about Jamie at first, but when she actually ended up in danger, you know, she definitely tried her best to protect Jamie. Yeah. So yeah, easily S. And this is basically Laurie Strode's best friend, but played by the Jamie actress, since she, I guess, loves the franchise and wanted to stay with it. I guess with the impact of her death, and I feel like it's done a little bit better compared to the original one. I'd probably put her in A. Yeah, they give her a bit more character. She still was a bit similar to the original, but yeah. And this is just basically, yeah. He's not really much of a character, so I put him below Laurie Strode's granddaughter's boyfriend. Oh, and this is the one that Rachel's boyfriend cheated with. Definitely in this territory. But below Busta Rhymes, I'll just put her here, yeah, because she doesn't really do much. And this is Michael Myers, yeah. Michael Myers himself, obviously, it's going to be S. But I still like Loomis more so. And of course Laurie Strode when I see her, because she's the main hero. But yeah, I'm just putting a lot of the Resurrection characters in F. I just don't like that film. If I remember which ones I even... Resurrection, because I haven't watched Halloween 6 and Resurrection for like years. Maybe next year I'll maybe rewatch them just to see what I'd think. And Halloween 5, I hate that because of what it does with the characters from Halloween 4. Like, yeah. Even what to do with Loomis. Oh, this guy is literally definitely S. He's an S tier villain. And actually tried to do more stuff instead of just doing Michael Myers. He's probably the best they've done, if it not like involving Michael Myers with his whole plan to make everyone, like all the kids, wear like Halloween masks, and then when a certain thing plays on the 31st, it literally kills them all. It's just, and they leave it ambiguous if it actually succeeds. But yeah, it's just the ending of Halloween 3 is just iconic and such an underrated film. And then there's this kid, not really much about him. He's just basically better than this guy, since it's one of the 2018 characters. I guess he has more character than this, and then I'd probably just put him here. Seems like the perfect place. Don't really get to do much for him since he dies by Michael Myers, so yeah. And there's the mum, which I mean, from early 2018 when you're watching the film, I probably would put her like in C. But as the film goes on, she becomes a bit better. I feel like I could, at the end of the day, I'm just going to put her in B, since it's Laurie Strode's basically daughter in the 2018 universe, since she has a son in the, you know, the original universe, but decided to give her a daughter and have a granddaughter. But just the way how they end up using her in Halloween Kills was a huge downgrade from how her character got up to, like, by the end of 2018. And the way how she dies in such a dumb way, but literally all the characters in Halloween Kills are retarded anyway, so yeah. I can at least put her in B, because I liked how she developed through, you know, the beginning to the end of 2018, even though they made it unlikable. But then by the end, like, she steps up to protect her, you know, daughter. I'm just seeing who else I'd pick for who I actually remember, because I don't even know if I can perfectly place where some of these characters belong. but can I remember how the characters were? And I think this is Michael Myers' father, redneck father from, you know, the Rob Zombie era. So obviously, like, definitely D is like the bottom of the bowl. just tons of swearing and just disgusting language. And if they have the mother here, she's going to be below too. Like, man, just the way how Rob Zombie just adds like a lot of disgusting stuff with the language, it's just a bit much. And then there's Laurie Strode herself. Like, I guess.
What's the boogeyman?
I'd put her definitely above Michael because she's an icon. It sucks how they end things of her in Resurrection, like the worst film, where they just kill her off. Then in H2O, that was like literally the perfect way to end that era of Halloween, where she actually defeats Michael Myers by decapitating him. But instead, she ends up in an asylum, and then Michael Myers comes to finish her off, and then you just get Busta Rhymes taking a mick out of Michael Myers for the rest of the film. And I heard that we would have really got something with the son afterwards, which that should be a video I make in the future about what they was planning to do with the original timeline, where a lot of the survivors from the earlier films would have came together and took on Michael, because they would have been in therapy together, but then Michael Myers would come after him and I'd have to take him on. I just don't know how that would have fully went, but yeah. But yeah, just back to this. So this is like a Halloween 2 character when Laurie's in the hospital. Not really much to say about her, so I'll just put her in C. But I guess memorable death. And I think this is one of Laurie Strode's friends as well. Probably put her next to this one, yeah. And I think this is the one that actually does fool around. I don't think it's her. Yeah, she doesn't really get the chance, I think. Yeah, she obviously was gonna fool around because Laurie Strode was literally doing the babysitting for her. But this is the one that actually does. So yeah, I kind of got mixed up. Like these two, like yeah, and then they get killed by Michael. And this, I think, is a Rob Zombie character. Not much to say about him, so I'll just put him here. And then this is one of the kids from the original film that survive. I mean, she's not really much of a character, but I'd still put her here because of the situation she ends up in and just being memorable in that way. I haven't seen Jamie yet. Where's Jamie? Because obviously this is the S tier character. I think I'd put her above Laurie Strode with some of the trauma she goes through. And there's this sheriff guy, like, I mean, he's a nothing character really, but I don't feel like he deserves to be in D, so I'll just put him in bottom C. He's basically the sheriff in the 2018 timeline, but he doesn't really do anything really right ever, to the point where literally a riot starts and it just turns into chaos. So yeah, and then there's the guy himself, the Halloween 3 main character. Like, probably would put him like the bottom of S, but still being in S is good. Yeah, he's a great character to follow. He's not perfect. He cheats on his wife. He obviously loves his kids, and he literally tries to stop literally millions of kids being murdered. So he definitely deserves S anyway. Yeah. And then there's this guy. They basically tries to make a type of Dr. Loomis, but if he was actually fully evil. So we had like the original Dr. Loomis, the perfect good guy who wanted to stop Michael. Then you had this one where he just like becomes more of a businessman, not really caring that much. And then you just got one that's basically evil. He's not Dr. Loomis, but he kind of takes a lot of his ideas, but he basically twists it and literally starts killing people like Michael Myers. And I feel like if they kept him around a bit longer, they could have did interesting things with him instead of just having like Michael as a killer, because he actually was trying to help Michael, but then Michael just kills him anyway. So with how his character starts A, then I'd say it goes into like B, but I'd put him like here though, because for at least having like another villain in a 2018 film, it was interesting, but its execution could have been so much better. Yeah. I think she's in H2O. Not really much to say about her, so I'll just put her like bottom C. Jamie. Oh man. Would I put her above? Yeah, I think I would put her above Laurie Strode because of how much they make us care about her in just one film. Second film, they barely make her talk, which kind of sucks after she's traumatized for what she did to her parents well, I think her mum or something, her stepmom, with the awesome direction it was possibly going to take Halloween 5, but because, and this is like the biggest flaw of the Halloween fan base, they don't like to have a different villain. They always want Michael Myers, and that's why I love Halloween 3 so much, because they actually tried to add something different, a different threat, and it's just so enjoyable. It feels like the most Halloween themed Halloween film. You could say Halloween 6 is as well, but Halloween 3 is fully like Halloween vibes and literally have a main theme, Silver Shamrock. Like, man. But yeah, it just sucks what they do with Jamie's character in the long run, because you see Jamie in like 3 films. There's the first film that she appears, Halloween 4, which is my favourite Halloween film, probably my favourite horror film. I know it's not perfect, and you could say that, like, most people would say like either Halloween 1 or 2, and then there's 2018, which is probably the best Halloween film we've had in a long time. Should I say since H2O? Yeah, because Resurrection was awful, and I guess the Rob Zombie films are divided. I mean, there's some good things, but there's a lot of bad things, because, you know, it's Rob Zombie. He has a lot of swearing and just disgusting moments. So yeah, but Jamie, I love Jamie. All right, is this I can't tell if this is like a character from either H2O, Resurrection, or definitely not 2018, or Rob Zombie. But I'll come back to the characters if I remember. I feel like there's some characters I'm not really going to remember that well. I know he's from Halloween 2. He's kind of a weird guy.
Amazing grace, come sit on my face. Don't make me cry, I need your pie. Look, why don't you just shut up, alright?
He's memorable though, so I'll put him in A. Like, he has such funny lines. He's kind of a pervert and stuff, but he's cool. Yeah, he's cool. And then you got Laurie Strode's daughter. Oh, I feel like putting her in flipping the bottom of this so bad. This is such a bad character by the end of Ends. Literally turning against Laurie Strode, her grandmother, for literally the serial killer of Ends. Like, it's and then falls in love with him, and then at the last moment she realizes he's bad. It's just, it's so bad. It just makes me want to put her, like, definitely the bottom. But since they make Michael Myers' dad so bad that you can understand that he becomes a serial killer, like, of course I can't really put her that far at the bottom. But they just destroy her character in Ends. They completely destroy her. They obliterate her. Yeah, because it starts off with her, like, being the only one to actually care for Laurie Strode later on in her later years, before Michael comes back, because, you know, Laurie Strode was just so obsessed with Michael, so, like, her family just stayed away from her. But the granddaughter still wanted to have a relationship with her, and that's why I kind of liked her in the first one. No matter what, she just loved her grandmother, and they had a nice connection. And then going into Kills, I can't fully remember how she kind of was in that, and then Ends just completely destroy her character, falls in love with the bad guy, and goes against her own grandmother. It's just terrible. Yeah. Yeah. It's just kind of hard the more I go on, but I just put her in the same place, but less memorable, because she's like a Halloween 2 character. I don't know who else to choose, because this is when it's starting to, like, he's a funny kid, but maybe I'll put him on top of B. Yeah, he's just funny. I kind of wish I did more of this kid, but yeah, he's just funny. And I don't know where his babysitter is. Where's she? Oh, the reboot Rob Zombie, Laurie Strode. I mean, she goes through a lot of trauma, probably worse than Laurie Strode in my opinion. So, but I'm still not really a big fan of her, because of her trauma, like, and how things end for her in the Rob Zombie era. Like, man, they make it look really, really bad. Like, when you see the ending of the first film, she had such bad injuries compared to Laurie Strode that, oh my god, it looks so painful just to see what she went through. And then how the second film ends as well, after everyone that she cared about is dead, and she literally ends up in an asylum, and just her life just is basically done. Because, man, I'd rather be Laurie Strode from the original timeline where Michael Myers finishes her off, instead of being stuck in an asylum for who knows how long, probably forever. because she literally looks like she's lost her mind. Yeah. So because of her trauma, I'd put in like top of B. I mean, she probably deserves to be top of A, but it just don't make her as likable as Laurie Strode. So I'll come back to her maybe. Then there's the sheriff. He at least tries to do something against Michael Myers, so I'll just put him here. And that's basically the partner from the 2018 guy, so I'll just put her here. And this is when it's becoming harder, since a lot of these characters, to me, are not really that memorable. I think this was like the annoying friend from. I don't think you don't really see her much in Halloween 4, but Halloween 5, like she has a lot of appearance and she's really unlikable. I probably would put her in like D. Like she's one of the worst characters. Like she's so annoying. Yeah. I know I never wanted to watch the film again, apart from all the other stuff they did to Jamie and, you know, Rachel. And even Loomis, they even messed up Loomis. Like, man, I hate Halloween 5. Oh. Halloween 6, I feel like if I rewatched that, I probably appreciate that a lot more, even though I still hate with what they also do to Jamie, even though it's a different actress and she's older and has a kid. The characters I don't remember, I'm just going to put in D anyway. But they're more just basically forgettable. I mean, was this one of the kids from H2O that ends up getting killed? Or, if it is, I'm just going to put him here, but I might change it if I remember. But the characters that are not really that memorable. I mean, he leaves like definitely an interesting impact, but he's not really much of a character, so put him on top of C, basically one of the first victims of Halloween 3. If Harry comes into the hospital, like spooking everyone, even the main character of Halloween 3. So he definitely has a lasting impression. He's just like one of the first victims, really. Yeah, I don't really remember a lot of these characters. It's probably from some of the films I never really bothered to even rewatch. So I don't even care I really put these, but they're not going to surpass these two, the awful characters. So if I don't remember, I'm just basically put them all in the same place, and it doesn't really mean anything to me. I can't really remember how Machete was. Oh, this guy is just basically comedy gold.
Let me introduce myself. I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch. And I'm gonna cut that mask right off your face.
He's basically a Busta Rhymes kind of level comedy gold, so I'd put him on top of these characters, but just because he's comedy gold, I don't feel like he should be on top of this guy, because they tried to do things with him in Halloween Kills, but you know, just not as good as the boyfriend from you know, Halloween 4, with how he was at first. And is this the guy who tried to protect Laurie Strode in Halloween 2? He's definitely getting like maybe top of A. Yeah. I mean, I might think to maybe put him in S when I'm just looking through all of them again. But yeah. I just gotta think about so much when you're looking at these characters. If you even remember some of them anyway. I think that's the nurse from Halloween 2, right? Oh no, she's like someone that's around in 2 different timelines. Is she like I can't tell if she's the original nurse. You know, the one that Loomis is with when Michael first breaks out of the place. I can't tell if that's her. I'm getting mixed up. But I'll just leave it there for now. I'll just put it like somewhere here so I can just remember straight away. But I'm just having a little look through. I don't know if he's like a Halloween 3 character, but I'm just putting him here. Don't really remember him, but I think he's the kid from the Rob Zombie movie. I don't know. I'm just putting him here. The characters where I don't have barely any memory or any memory, I'm just basically putting here. But I think this is the bully that basically also has a thing of making the Rob Zombie Michael Myers. So he does have an impact and has such a brutal death. So I'd put him probably here. Obviously he's a bad character, but It's more like what they do with the character to create Michael Myers. And I think she's one of the H2O characters. Out of the H2O characters, there's not really much to her, so bottom C. I'm trying to think of where's the son? Laurie Strode's son. That's what I'm trying to look for right now. Paul Wood was actually pretty good in Halloween 6. Like when it comes to Halloween 6, from what I remember, he's a good character. I'd put him next to the person that liked Laurie in Halloween 2 and protected her. He was a really good character. He basically protects